Welcome to Color Fucking Anime, where we talk about anime from a colorful perspective. I'm with my homie Jordan.
Yo.
And I'm your host, Lance. And it's been a while.
It has been a while.
A really long time. We shouldn't have left you. But don't beat the step two. And we had a lot of life stuff going on just in general. I think they care. They care about us. I think y'all care about us.
I hope so.
Y'all have listened to countless hours of podcasts and videos. So I'm just going to assume that, y'all care about what's been going on in our lives. So I know me personally, I've had a career change. I'm in IT now. I'm not going to tell y'all where I work because it ain't none of your business.
Right. Don't want nobody.
Right.
I don't think we would have it.
No. You know what I did see? One of the TikTok guys that I follow, he made the mistake of I guess he worked at FedEx and he was getting off work and making a TikTok. And it was he's one of those guys that talks about men, women stuff or whatever. Sure. Not red pill per se, but just stuff that gets people angry over the internet, which is great. And so he made the mistake of wearing his FedEx shirt, getting off work. And they call his job and hey, you got this guy. Here's his picture. He's really inflammatory and yada, yada. Dang. Almost got him fired. So I'm ever since then, I'm I don't think nobody cares, but.
just in case there's that one fan that you piss off.
Right. You're too woke.
Makes it their life's goal to ruin your life.
100%.
Because people like that exist, unfortunately.
Yeah. So what's been going on with you?
So since we last dropped, life has just been busy. So, being a dad is
tell us about it.
Amazing. I love it. Very time consuming.
I imagine.
But it's been fun because so my daughter turned 1 in August, July, end of July.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's growing like a damn weed
and running around all over the place,
which is awesome. I love
dope.
it. It's so fun to watch her grow and to start inserting little anime things into her life, which is great.
Yep. Raise them right.
I was gonna say, I don't know if anybody that follows us saw, but I did the pick your starter video with her, when she could crawl. And she picked Charmander, spoiler alert.
Lit.
Charmander's the only right choice of the original 3.
I got some Pokemon stuff to bring up with you in a bit too.
For sure. And so did that, which was a lot of fun. Introduced her. I had her, I've got her. She's watched Pokemon with me. I got my wife, and I mentioned this on the pod previously, but I got my wife hooked on Spy Family.
Hey, because it's just amazing. It's just a great family, and wholesome show.
Yeah, and now that she can walk, we're definitely cosplaying as the Forgers. 100%. We're going to cosplay as the Forgers, especially because my wife loves that show too. So I think she would be down.
Yeah.
Right. No. So fatherhood is a lot of fun. I love it. The other big update that I know at least a couple people will know is that we're actually moving. My wife, my family.
I'm not moving with him.
No. Me, my wife, and our daughter, we're moving out to California. So we are going to be relocating to the Los Angeles area.
Yeah.
Actually, by the time this drops, we probably will be out there.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So so that's a big life change because obviously, that's been kind of about 2-ish months in the making, of us leaving.
Why California?
So my wife is from Los Angeles, and she born and raised out there. I lived down in Orange County for a year, which I love.
The OC.
Yeah, the OC.
Is it like the TV show? You ever watched the TV show?
I've never watched a TV show, no. But everybody in Orange County laughs about the TV show, and one of the girls that was in my small group at the church that I was at out there was she was actually from Chino Hills.
Oh, for real? Yeah. Where Old Boy was from, the main protagonist. Yeah. That's hilarious.
And so we would always mess with her about that, but no, it's not really like that. Well, it is a little bit. I will say that.
Yeah.
Because I've never watched a show, but I know the premise, and it is a little bit like that.
Yeah.
But it's so I love California, and I always joked when I was young that like I felt like I was supposed to be in California.
Yep.
Like, even before I never lived there.
Yep. I used to feel that about New York, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
And
What's going
was,
on with New
I
York?
was gonna say I feel like rap had a little bit to do with that.
Yeah. Yes. But now with the flooding and the
Yeah.
giant rats and
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, at least you're not in Paris right now, where they're
Oh my
having
gosh.
a bed bug infestation
Yes.
in all public places.
Crazy.
It's not that bad yet, but no, yeah. So we're moving. So that's one of the reasons too that like life has been a little hectic. But
Yeah.
So that's the big update for me, at least.
Yeah. So what that does also mean is that, yeah, we this pod won't be up for extended period of time. We'll say.
Yeah.
We're still trying to figure out what exactly it's supposed to look like. What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
You got a whole other new life to kind of
Figure out.
get into.
Brand new city, brand new environment.
Yeah.
I will say I'm very excited about the fact that some of the biggest cons in the world are in Los Angeles.
100%.
So I'm very excited about that. And I was messing last time we were out there visiting my wife's family. We went to excuse me. We went to a mall in Arcadia.
Yeah.
And it's like a predominantly Asian neighborhood. And like I'm telling you, that mall was just busting full of stores that had anime gear in it.
See,
And I
they
was
know.
like,
They
see,
know.
This is where I need to be because because the nerd culture out here is lit. So
Right.
so I'm excited to be in a city where there's all kinds of conventions and all kinds of cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
Because we finna be in there.
100%. Check out us at your nearest California con near you.
Yeah, right.
Which would be dope. So one of the things we did want to talk about is kind of like, I don't know, it's just giving ourselves our flowers, really. Just kind of talking about when starting this pod, what did you think it would be? How do you feel? How did you feel about it? How do you feel now? Like, how many years has this been? It's been a while.
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah.
It's been like 5 years.
Yeah. With all of that and the things in between, I guess, like cast changes, all of that sort of stuff. How do you feel about all of that?
It's funny because, I mean, this is how the podcast started.
100%.
You and I, this was our brainchild, know, and like
100%.
And so, the original cast, we had Frankie as well.
Shout out Frankie.
Shout out Frankie. And, so the original cast was, we did an anime episode, of our old podcast.
Yep.
The Noisy Neighbor podcast.
Yep.
We did like an anime episode on that podcast. We were like, yo, what if we did like a separate
full thing, like
anime
whole
podcast?
Thing, yeah.
And then the anime podcast took off and the other one died.
Right. Completely died. Which is,
completely died.
Sometimes, and I don't know, doing this long enough, I've learned that that's sometimes just how it is. Like, it's okay. Like, sometimes you get a better setup, a better, set of things.
And so it's been great, and I think over the years, as we've done this podcast, it's been a lot of fun. Obviously all the cast members that we've had have been amazing. Like I said, we shout out Frankie, shout out Chris and Malcolm and Hakeem.
Yep.
And all the guests that we've had on the podcast over the years.
Yep.
My brother and
shout out Cooper.
And Zachariah, who was the local manga artist.
Yeah.
Just all the guests that we've had over the years.
What's the football player?
Oh,
Mike Daniels?
Mike Daniels.
Yeah.
We had an episode with Mike Daniels, which was dope. And so, funny story, and my brother Squeaky works for the Packers now.
Yeah.
And one of the players, I don't remember who it is, but he said one of the players is like a huge anime junkie.
Yeah.
And which a lot of guys are nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But he was like, this dude's like full on like Akatsuki tattoos.
Yeah.
Like,
he's
got all kinds of anime tattoos. And he was like, I just wanted to make sure y'all were still doing your podcast, because like if I was gonna put him on your podcast,
less.
yeah, it's like he's like, if I was gonna put him onto y'all podcast, like I didn't want it, I didn't want it to like be whack. And I was like, nah, go ahead, put him on.
Right.
But it's just been really funny, just over the things that we've been to conventions,
right.
And we've done all kinds of fun stuff, and so it's been a lot of fun, and obviously it's evolved a lot over the years,
right.
and it's been like a really cool experience. And then on top of that too, just kind of rekindling a lot of love for anime.
That's right there is one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest things. So like when you have to sit down and talk about it,
Yeah.
right? So in some of those days for me, I think it was like I had so much going on where it felt like, oh my gosh, this is a burden sometimes. But I think for more days, it was cool to sit down and talk about the things you used to watch, the things that you kind of like, you feel like not a kid again, but like a little bit like you feel youthful because I don't know about y'all days. I think about my little 40-hour, sometimes 50-hour work week, and it's like it feel lifeless sometimes. You know what I mean? Like sure, your career, if you're career driven, shout out to you, and if you just love your job, shout out to you. But sometimes it's like the energy, the amount of energy you have, time you have, you feel like you don't got no time to do nothing else.
Exactly.
So when you do get the time to do the things you enjoy, like sit down, watch anime, read manga. I was just telling you about the one crazy manga that I was that I was having told about to me. That stuff and sitting down and talking about it, it makes you appreciate just those things that like you kind of tuck away like as an adult because you're like, I don't got time for this. I gotta be a grown up. I gotta wash dishes and pay bills and all that other stuff. But it's like, no, you can still sit down and enjoy these things. Like you can enjoy life in a way. You know what I mean? That's what this whole podcast is about, or one of the things that this podcast is about for sure.
Yeah, and I think it's been a lot of fun because, like you said, it's a good way to reminisce. But then at the same time, like I had taken a break for like a handful of years. I hadn't watched any anime. I hadn't read any new mangas. Like I hadn't really engaged with what was going on in the culture for a while. And part of it was because I lived in Mexico and I was in California for a while and I was on staff.
They don't got Cartoon Network and
kidding. And like I was on staff at a church and there's just
you got a lot going on.
You just got a lot going on and just a lot of life changes and then I didn't really get back into it until I moved back to Milwaukee and we started doing this podcast and just re-getting into, why I loved anime when I was younger.
Yeah.
Like all the fun stuff going on. And, even though in some of the genres, stuff gets rehashed.
Right.
Isekais are a dime a dozen nowadays.
Yeah.
But, it's just really fun diving back into anime, and some of my favorites that I've ever watched or read are things that I watched or read after we started doing the podcast. Like Promise Neverland. Like if you guys haven't read, don't watch it. If you guys haven't read Promise Neverland, you should read it. Because spoiler alert, the show cuts out the best arc of the entire anime.
Yeah.
And so stuff like that, reintroducing, and shout out to Chris for putting us on Promise Neverland.
100%. And traumatizing us all.
At the same time. Exactly.
episode 1. Or like you said, don't watch it past a certain point. But episode 1 is
The first the first season was accurate to the manga, to the story.
Yeah.
So the first season was immaculate. And then second season happened and
100%.
We'll never forgive them for that. So just a lot of really cool stuff that we've been able to do, and it's been fun to chop it up, because for those that don't know, Lance, you and I have been friends for
how long has it been?
2013.
I was like,
so
that's how accurate.
It's
literally
like 10 years. And so way before we were doing this podcast, and so it's been really fun just to hang out, because
100%.
Spoiler alert, like we didn't stop doing the podcast because we hate each other.
You know what, Jordan?
We're still really good
when
friends.
When you wear those jeans, I can't stand it for the podcast. It's over. That's not what happens. Never happens.
Yeah, no, we didn't stop recording because we hate each other. We're still boys outside of the podcast.
100%.
But it's like I said, it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, I think, and I think part of that is an important part is this is and I say this too, even with my other pod that I have, this is an extension of like our friendship in a lot of ways. And I think that, we're not and I don't know if I have to say this. Maybe I mean I have this and it looks fancy at all, but like we are not doing this because we make thousands, millions, hundreds, fifties of dollars or nothing like that.
You're right.
We're not doing it for that. We did it because we're big on community. We're big on like just hanging out. We're big on like just sharing what we care about with y'all, like as we do with each other. So just and I think that's important to say because I think a lot of people do podcasts nowadays, hoping to just kind of like shoot up or whatever.
Right. So hoping to go viral. Which not gonna say that wouldn't have been nice.
Yeah, and I'm not saying we haven't had success. Like we've had our milestones that we hit that we didn't think that we would hit, and we probably will in the future. Who knows? But I think that the important thing is the friendship more than just sitting down and recording and stuff like that.
Believe it.
Right, 100%. A couple things before I know we will keep it short, but I did want to mention this only because I've been hearing in the anime streets about like the lore behind certain things. Pokemon.
What about
What do you know about the like? How much do you know about the Pokemon lore? Like how Pokemon came to be, like the origin of Pokemon. Do you know about this? Like these I think they're fan made theories, but they sound kind of like they sound accurate. What happened to the real animals? What happened? Why are there mostly only kids in Pokemon? Have you ever heard about these theories?
So I feel like there's been a few that I've heard about.
Because it's not introducing the show, which is why they drop little like nuggets along the way.
So okay. So I'm curious.
All right, here's the fan theory, and so the fan theories, and a lot of people are. There was this white guy on TikTok that was talking about. He's rabbit hole. I run down a whole rabbit hole. They asked him were there real why there are were there real animals?
Oh, sure.
Where like, and so the theory is that there was some kind of war that happened. That essentially, okay. I was like, I don't think this is like super top secret, but it's not in the anime. So like, I feel like it blew my mind. I was like, wait, what? It was a war that happened. In that war, most of the adults died. And and after the war, they decided to like these Pokemon were like these biological weapons that were used during the war.
Sure.
And so the reason why they have all these now, like amongst these young people, why is, and one of the questions was, why is Ash like 10 when he's going out on the journey across the world?
Yeah, who would let their 10-year-old do that, right?
and the answer was where like part of that, but also a lot of people are younger, except for maybe the Rocket Rocket Power team, some other like folks, the doctors. But like those are, and even the fact that there are lots of sets of twins, right? Like the nurse, is it nurses?
Oh yeah, Nurse Joy and Officer Jenny's.
They all look alike.
They're clones.
And so part of that is part of that that theory as well is that they were created and designed to assist these kids to become essentially the world's fighters in the next war to come or whatever, which is a crazy theory.
Which is great and dark. And like I think so it's funny because like I'm still like an avid Pokemon.
Right. That's
like,
why I asked you. I asked you what you think about the theory.
And I love that theory, first of all. Second of all, I'm one of those people where I feel like I need a mature Pokemon game.
Yeah. That'd be fire.
Not mature in the way not mature like
on the weirdo stuff.
Yeah, nothing strange. But like
sexy Brock.
Yeah. Right, exactly. But like mature in the fact of like dark themes and like, hey, like let's go, and obviously they have tried to add some of that a little bit, with the teams and stuff like that. Like I've actually recently just been playing through Black. Pokemon Black. And you have N and Team Plasma, and their goal is to like release Pokemon from being
Pokemon
trainers and just let them be Pokemon in wild again. So they're like stealing Pokemon from trainers to set them free, quote unquote.
Right.
And so they've tried to do some stuff like that, and I feel like as the years have gone by, they've really like dumbed down the maturity of the games. and the anime too a little bit.
Yeah, because like, it's tournament folk. It's literally only tournament folk.
Because I mean, you have the departure from the first Pokemon movie where Ash was throwing hands with Mewtwo,
which is great.
And and now like, so I don't know. Like I wanted them to do more because like, I wanted them to do more mature like stuff because it's like you have this property and it's great. You can do anything you want with it.
Right.
And do a spin-off game. Like there's like some of the best games I've ever played have been Pokemon spin-offs that I've really loved.
Yep.
And so it's like, you have like infinite possibilities for Pokemon spin-off games. Where it's like you want to explore a mature topic, you do a spin-off game. Don't do a mainline game.
Right, 100%.
But, they're not going to do that cuz it's their cash cow.
It's like Dragon Ball Z now. Yeah. It's like we're gonna make it more absurd, but we're not gonna change the core characters.
They don't have to do anything. They don't have to do anything innovative because they're gonna make money no matter what they put out. I mean, they demonstrated that with Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah,
those games were broken. Like those games were broken.
Yep.
They realistically they should have taken probably at least another year before they released those games. And it was like you've released a game that's like 60% done, right? 70% done, maybe. Niggas
or just
falling through the map. And
it's like
it shouldn't happen.
First of all, that's crazy.
Yeah, like the glitches.
That's like Nintendo level of negligence. Like what I mean?
The glitches were wild, and it's like this is not a complete game.
Yeah,
like, stop cutting corners.
I feel like it maybe Rockstar did this too much, but I think like the way Rockstar has Grand Theft Auto, and they release all of these DLCs, where it's storylines, which have been cool. I think a lot of people have responded well to them and stuff like that. I think a lot of people just rock with the online so much that then it's not a huge deal, right? It's not a huge deal, but I feel like Pokemon could benefit from. Again, that changes the whole dynamic of it, but I feel like, we have Nintendo Switches now. I feel like we could do that. I feel like you could push out DLCs that maybe or patches that fix games like that. The way that happens, and they have stuff like that.
And they they released a new DLC for Scarlet and Violet. And the thing is like, I played the game, I beat it.
Not going back to it.
Yeah, I'm not going back to it. Like I don't care about DLC for this game.
Like, right.
At this point,
make it captivating to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing is gonna make me go back to this game.
Right.
Like, so it's frustrating because I mean, at the end of the day, it's it's Nintendo's cash cow.
Yeah. So they're not gonna touch. You can't touch it. You can't really touch a cash cow.
They don't have to do anything innovative because they know people are gonna buy it regardless.
Right.
Which is frustrating. It's like Apple.
Right. It's exactly like Apple.
If you know people are gonna buy your stuff, what's the point in
I'm just gonna make
innovative.
I'm gonna make this thinner, and then I'm gonna give you one new feature every 10 years.
Yeah. And it's like so like obviously all the memes with like the iPhone 15 Pro or whatever that nonsense is. It's like what the fourth iteration of the 11, and it
is because I have the 12. What I have the 12 or the 13.
Yeah,
I'm not buying them a new iPhone for a while.
They haven't done nothing fancy with it, and the memes write themselves.
100%.
It's just like you guys are ripping off of tech that's been out there for 10 years.
Yeah,
and calling it new and fancy, and it's like, well,
and about the whole, and we'll probably close after this. This is longer than I thought it was gonna be. But about the whole USB port thing, right?
Oh yeah.
But why they had to change the USB-C port?
Because they got sued in court in the United in the EU. Yeah.
So they had an Apple event. And they like, yo, we got something really nice for y'all. Right. Y'all gonna love this. We finally have the USB-C on the Apple.
Nobody wanted that,
bro. What? Like, and also y'all did it because y'all got sued. Y'all don't care about our the goodness of us, the consumers.
Yeah, that was hilarious. As a lifelong Android supporter, and like
that was an L for
that was an L for Apple. And
don't pee on me and tell me it's raining. That's not. That's not. You're not gonna give me. Oh my gosh, USB-C. Like all this tech I have in here. I'm like, really? Okay,
it's great. I personally, it was great. That was a great moment because I'm like, is so satisfying.
Yeah. No, it was definitely like a L. I think, but you know, that it, like you said, people won't touch their cash cows. They won't touch their premiere things or whatever. Not too much, because if you change it, people get, you know, it's like this Drake album, this new Drake album just came out yesterday. I've been listening to it. And it's an example of that, right? Like,
is that the one that Charlamagne is ripping him on?
Yeah, because it's bad. It's not a good album. It's not a good album. It's like 23 songs. I think I like 4.5 of them.
No album needs to be that long.
Because for me, I'm always like, if you can't get your point across in
like 12 songs,
right? Then why are we here? What's going on? Like, and it's the same songs, some of them. So I think, but he's to the point. I make too much money to like be innovative.
Yeah, exactly.
People are gonna stream it and buy it regardless. Same thing with Pokemon for sure. But anyways, I don't have a whole lot else unless you do.
No, I mean, you know, we'll still keep. I mean, our social media pages will be active.
Yep.
You know, our Discord, our Facebook,
Yep.
Instagram page. You know, those will still be active for the people that interact with us on those platforms.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll just be taking an extended break.
Yep. And with that, y'all know the slogan: stay colorful. Peace.